What's up, everybody? This is Taylor Vipolis, and welcome to the Players Lounge, a podcast brought to you by Inside Carolina in partnership with Heels for Life, UNC Football's NIL collective created to bring together UNC football players, fans, and businesses. I'm hosting this with my former teammate, Shaquille Rashad, and today we're joined by defensive lineman Keeshawn Silver. Keeshawn, appreciate you getting on here. Your nickname is the Big Country, and I'm curious, where did the nickname Big Country come from?
Being from Rocky Mount, that part of town, it's kind of like in the country area. And one day, I probably say around my sophomore year, one of my good friends, we was just joking, and he was like, "Hey, you so big, you might as well be the big country." And then it just went off from there. So then, I'll say through my whole high school experience, I tried to disclaim it, like, "Nah, that's not my name. It's not my name." And then I was like, "Hey," got to college. I was like, "Hey, this should be my nickname." So I just kind of went on with it.
I was gonna
give the people what they want.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say you can't be big country unless you're somebody of your stature, walking almost 6'5", 300 plus pounds. Like nobody's calling me big country if I'm from the country.
That's incredible. Another thing I saw when I was looking at it, Keeshawn, like going through Twitter and everything this morning, saw that something said your favorite player ever at all time is Dennis Rodman. Where does that come from?
all right. So back in high school, when I played basketball, I was mainly like a defender, and like everybody had their idol who they looked up to, and I looked up to Dennis Rodman. So I mean, yeah,
That feels not random. Like I totally get it and I respect it, but I'm thinking like Rodman was barely playing when I was growing up. So it's
yeah.
like I think about like who that would be for me, and I just don't know who those players are. So it's pretty cool that you recognize him and he's one of your favorites or the favorite, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Were you going back and watching like old Bulls film? Is that how he became your favorite?
Definitely, yeah. It was just somebody that was wild and that really didn't really care, and he just played the game hard. So I was like, yeah.
You mentioned your basketball talents, and I'm wondering, do you still have it? Is that who you would compare yourself to on the court, a Dennis Rodman, where your defense is kind of setting the tone?
Hey, the basketball game would never go anywhere. That's one thing.
So you think you've got it still?
It's never left.
I like it. I
I'm
like
messing
it.
with you. I'm messing with you.
No, it's fair, man. Because my next question was if you can pick four other guys, or also you can make a team of five. Maybe you don't make the cut. I don't know how you feel about it.
Wow.
But let's say you get five guys from the football team to go play basketball right now. Who are you picking as your five?
We were just having this discussion the other day. So I'm going Drake May, uh, Austin Richards, Desmond Evans, and I'll probably go Raven Hassett.
Wow.
And me myself. And me myself, yeah.
I'm just sitting here thinking, like, you got a lot of guys in the post down there, don't you?
Hey, we get it done.
How
And
far? Go ahead. Yeah,
Jaquarius is currently six man.
I like
Okay.
that. Okay.
Okay. I'm
And
imagining
then
you Richards, Vahasic, all on the court together. Is there enough spacing there?
No, that's the point.
and then Keyshawn, you take that team, you guys roll into March Madness. Let's call it as a 10 seed next year. How deep do you guys think you're playing?
We're going to the championship. Like,
Yes. Yes.
like what? A message. Yeah.
Outside
No,
of outside of football, what would you say you like to do in your free time? Like, what are your hobbies for fans to kind of get to know, the player outside of the helmet?
I mean, I like to have fun. Really, I feel like I'm a people's person. I like being around people, like being around family. I really just like I be like playing a game, stuff like that, sleep. No more personal life really out of sports. Yeah.
What games are you playing?
I get on that 2K, that Madden, Call of Duty, play some everything.
Who's the best Madden player on the UNC team? Because that's something that's always
Uh,
pretty contentious.
that's personal right there.
it's personal.
I don't know. I probably put Jaleel Taylor in there. He's pretty nice.
After the season's over, we'll have to host a Inside Carolina Madden tournament challenge or something with NIL.
Oh yeah.
That'd be fun. Wait, and Keyshawn, so you're a Madden guy now in 2K. When NCAA comes back next year, whatever the game's be called, you think you'll switch over to that, or you staying true to Madden?
The NCAA definitely got to get up there. The
Yeah,
boys gonna be up there.
yeah, that's awesome. I'm pumped for that to come back.
Oh yeah.
Very cool. Well, you mentioned playing games, hanging out with friends, stuff like that. Let's move over to movies because I was going through Twitter and saw a picture you tweeted of you and Javari Ritzy just like in the Step Brothers pose. So, one, can you tell us a story and how that came to be? And two, are you a Step Brothers guy?
Okay. So I say Javar's like my best friend. 5'6" combo. Been friends for a long time, and it was like go around campus, you hear Matt Brown, look at the twin brothers together, this and that, step brothers. So I'd be like, okay, cool. So then I was like, I was just scrolling on Twitter and I seen like actually like the step brothers. What is it? It was up there, and I was like, hey, let's take this picture on picture day. So we just turned out of that, and yeah.
It's pretty funny. I don't know how I missed it the first time, but I died laughing this morning when I was looking at it again. Very cool. And so going back to that, I know a lot of other things going through there, but you were a big time recruit, obviously coming out of high school. How did you land on Carolina?
Really, that's a hard question to answer. I mean, having 40 other options and just trying to pick a home, I felt like Carolina was a good choice because like close to home and the culture here. So
Yeah. And that's something I don't think we've touched on a bunch on here. I think a lot of people be curious about is like you say 48 other options.
yeah,
Where do you even start to narrow that down? Because you're not taking 48 visits, you're not jumping on the phone every night with 50 coaches. And obviously there's multiple people from every school. Like, where do you even start with that many offers to say, okay, like, let me really hone in on these 20 or these 30, like whatever it is?
yeah. So having 40 options. So the first thing you got to cut is where's the school located? Some people might suggest close to home. Some people might like far from home. My decision was it really didn't matter. So the second option was the coaches like reaching out to me. If that wasn't the case, then cut them off. The second option was like were they really interested in me? Was like I'd be a big factor there. Yes, no, that'd be another cutoff. And then the other part was like just going over there to see how like the players interacted with me and like how the coaches interacted. So I mean, at
I
the end of the day, you're gonna have to respect, but I mean, that's the point of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like I was playing NCAA football there for a second when you were going through that and trying to recruit in that game when when everybody's talking about, like the proximity to home, play for a winner, and trying to hear you kind of verbalize that is something that I never really went through in my recruiting process because I got accepted into Carolina and I knew I was going to go to Carolina and that was about it. But 20 it's a lot different of an experience than me and Shaq had. You were 24/7 Sports had you as a 5-star recruit, the 28th best player in the class of 2021. How was that challenge handling the expectations that come with being that highly regarded?
Um, I could say like you. I mean, it's random sometimes because like one day you're 3-star, one day you're 4-star, next day you're 5-star, and it's like, do I change my personality? Do I change the way I play, style of play? And it's like, with me, I was like, I'm from Rocky Mount. It's like big time things happen, but I'm still gonna be the same person. I like my style of play is like I like stopping the run. I like doing this. I like doing that. So I'm not gonna change my play because I earned a 5-star. Like, I'm still be the same person I was before. I'm definitely gonna be the same person afterwards. So
Yeah, and that was a big time class coming in. Like I remember when you committed and just looking at everyone come in, it's like, wow, it's nuts. And so everyone could see that 2021 class had a ton of potential, still has a ton of potential. Like what was a conversation like? Were y'all talking about teaming up and what your potential could be moving forward? Is that a thing y'all still keep in touch about? Like what was that part of the process like?
all right. So I mean, honestly, they said the best in Carolina stay in Carolina. So I mean, I kind of got my guys together. I was like, bro, like we could actually change this thing around because like he got older guys playing, so it's gonna obviously be an opportunity there for us. So I mean, it's not that we can't stop, man. It's gonna even look better on our resume because like we went to Carolina and we played, and expectation after that league, jobs and stuff like that. So, and that's gonna be a great degree on your resume.
From that class of 21, you have Drake May now absolutely spinning that thing for Carolina. Who was the most instrumental in getting him to flip from Alabama in that class of 21? Anybody in particular?
You talking to him? Me? That's my dude.
Oh, that's funny. That's really cool. Like, where do you think, since you've gotten here, you guys have so many phenomenal players, like where do you think you've grown the most since you've gotten on campus, and where do you think you still may have some areas to continue to grow and improve?
What you mean by like football wise or?
Yeah, football wise, but I think a lot of the stuff off the field leaks into competing on the field too. Like I can say I wasn't able to really pay any attention like competing off the field until I knew what the heck was going on off the field. It's like, where do you think you've grown the most that impacts you, whether it is, managing time better off the field or preparing in off season, like whatever that is?
Uh, I say definitely managing more time to myself, like away from football, away from class, away from everything. I feel like it's definitely gonna be that moment where I need to like get to know myself better than I do now. I mean, I'm me, so I mean, getting better to know like actually what I like to do out of football. So
Yeah, and you got some time to figure it out. Maybe not in season, but out of season, you got a little time to try to figure
I
it out.
see.
Yeah.
And for the most part, when you make the jump from high school to college, everybody has that welcome to college moment where you realize you can't get away with some of the stuff you did in high school on the field when everybody is, matching that athleticism and and the strength and the speed. Do you have a moment in particular where you kind of it opened your eyes and was like, wow, I'm not in high school anymore?
Uh, I could say I came in pretty strong, pretty fast, pretty big, obviously, but I think it was like a play where I went against Ed Montellis and Awesome Richards. Gave me that word. That was like I'll say probably my fifth practice during spring practice. They gave me that word. So I mean, I held my ground, but still, I was young. And Marcus McKeithen.
Were you
Yeah, Marcus
so were
McKeithen.
you playing a double or something on that play?
Double ain't even a word.
Because it's different, man. Like you think about high school football and like those double teams, I would bet there were times where you had double teams come at you where both the guys added up, probably still not that much heavier than you. You take on a 650-pound double team, it's different in there. Like it's grown men.
I mean, in high school, I mean, you're going against people that's like 6'5", 300 pounds. But when I first got here, I had to go against Marcus McKeithen. It was like 6'8", 350. I was like, oh my God. I mean, I was still young at the time, and it took me a minute to learn how to adjust to taking on blocks. In high school you rip go,
Yep.
but in college you gotta fix. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
my welcome to college moment was in high school. I was just the fastest person, just ran go routes every time, no kind of moves at the line. One of my first practices, Jabari Price at corner pressed me into the opposing sideline so badly, so badly that I almost considered not coming back out the next day. That's how humbling that kind of moment was for me. But where do you feel like you're obviously just going into your second year now at Carolina. Where do you feel like you have the most room for improvement out on the field?
um, out on the field, it's a time thing at this point. Just got to be patient, got to wait my turn. Got a lot of older guys in front of me, so I mean, Raven Haskins, Kevin Hester, they're gonna be great players one day, and I just got to wait my turn and just be patient. But me, improving, I would say just the pace, being like I said, mentally tough and just being patient and stuff. That's probably stuff that I have to be like work on right now.
Yeah. Speaking of being on the field, one of the things I noticed was you made the switch from the single digit to 55 this year. Was there
Yeah.
anything that went into that? Like what was the story there?
Uh, Just being a teammate. That's all I can say right
I
now.
like it. I like it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that happens, right? Like you got to be a teammate. That's a big important part of things too. I respect it.
Just being a good teammate. That's all I can say.
And what's the defense has had some good moments early in the season, had some moments where they've kind of struggled at times this season. What's being said when you guys are meeting as a unit and in your position rooms to turn that around and kind of be that top 25 defense that people had hoped to see with the talent that's in the room?
Um, everything needs work. Even on a good day, everything needs work. So I'll probably say like an App State game, good win, good everything, but there's still more work to be done. And I felt like that week that we came back, I feel like we had a great week of practice. I think we fixed the minor errors that we messed up in. But what be said, I could say like Coach Chiz, he's a great coach. And he just talks about like improving and getting better, getting better. Okay, at the end of the day, a W is a W. Like, gotta be blessed. Like we're 3-0. So I mean, just gotta stay humble during this process, during this time.
Yeah, when you look at the landscape of college football, you watch a team like Notre Dame lose to Marshall, you watch a team like Texas A&M go down to App State. So it means something that you guys are 3-0 and you guys are finding enough plays to win. And you mentioned the patience part, playing behind guys like Ray Vahasik and Kevin Hester. How do you stay positive on the sideline and just around the building and at practices when you're not making the impact that you'd like to on the game, but knowing that, but kind of trusting that your time is going to come?
Um, so like you said, like I said earlier, patience is a big key. And how I do it, I literally talk to them every day. Like off the field, them are my best friends. I express myself. I could say what helps me is that I express myself a lot. So I feel like when I talk to them guys, all I hear is just like keep going. Your name gonna be called. This gonna happen. This gonna happen. So it's hard. It's hard, but it's when the mentally tough part come in. So if you're mentally tough, you're gonna survive during this moment. But if you're not, then it's gonna be hard for you. So like I said, like I talk to them every day. Like they're my best friends for on the field, off the field. So I mean, expressing yourself will help. So
I think another cool thing that's probably helping you with that is you talked about all the different ways to get better. You're saying even on a good day, there's ways to get better. You know, you're always competing, always getting better. What kind of work are you doing in season to keep getting better? Because I think a lot of times it's easy for people to slip into the trap like, hey, I worked all off season. It's season time now. Now I'm just playing. When like you were saying, you're still developing every day and getting better. What is it that you're doing to stay healthy, to get better at your craft, all that stuff?
first thing is diet. I could say when I first came in, COVID hit, and my family was kind of strict about me going out and working because they, if I come back in, people gonna get sick. So that was the first time I say diet, and also like flexibility. I need to work more on my flexibility, and then one day I feel like I'll be a great ball player with
If you get any good stretches, anything like that, send them my way. I got to work on my
that.
flexibility too. I was
Come
I was
on,
actually just on Amazon looking at some stuff to stretch out right now. I'm getting old. And then the other thing I wanted to ask you about in season, and this is really unique because I don't think we get to talk about this enough. Can you just walk us through what your average Tuesday in season looks like? Tuesday's still the long day for y'all, right? The longest
Yeah,
probably. What just
probably.
walk us through like from the time you wake up in the morning to when you go to bed. What does a Tuesday look like?
All right, cool. So Tuesday, probably look about 5 o'clock. Head to the city about 5:30. Brush my teeth, shower, this and that.
Thank you for adding that
Um,
part. Yeah, you got to get that in there.
yeah,
You got to get that in
that's the case. That's the case. It's okay. Uh, head over there, get tape, eat breakfast. It's about like 6:15.
Okay.
Meeting start at 6:20. After that, special teams meeting, then position meeting about 7:30. Then after that, go back in there, meet as a unit. Then go back out. So it's about 8 o'clock. No, it's about 7:30.
Okay.
And then go to the locker room, get dressed, 7:45 ish. Hands tape, 7:50. Heading over there about 8 o'clock. 8:15 ish. Practice start by 8:20. Get in practice, drills, etc. Practice go about 10:15. If you got 11 o'clock class, you leave. 12 o'clock class. I got 12 o'clock class. And then after that, got tutoring. probably like 2 o'clock. I got another class at 5 o'clock. I get out to 7. So then after that, I just come home, play a little video games, go to sleep about 10 o'clock. Then
That's a full
repeat.
day. You've had a full day by the time a lot of people are waking up, man.
Yeah,
I think that's
like,
something that fans don't realize, like how structured every day is, where it feels like every minute of your day is planned out, and you have something that by the time you get home, it's like I survived another day. It's pat myself on the back.
yeah, yeah. It's definitely a long day. It's a
And
job.
yeah, it is a job at this point, which is why I've always been in favor of NIL and letting players kind of profit off their names. But from when the days that me and Shaq played in like that 2015 season, I think we had some of the best player led leadership. When you're looking at this defense specifically, who would you say are the best leaders on the defense?
Um, it's really a very leadership team. I say on defense for us that I know is Said Grand Power Echoes. And they're like the quarterbacks of the defense. So I feel like they lead the team very wise, and they set up the defense so well. Like they're just great players, and it's how they move and stuff like that. So they're great leaders. And on the D line, obviously like Raven Hassey, Kevin Hester, like leaders like that. And yeah,
Yeah, coming into the season, I feel like from the outside perspective, the linebackers were the biggest question mark. You knew what said Gray was, but Power Eccles had never really played significant snaps at this level. And they really gave him a lot of credit for the turnaround at Georgia State, where after he talks to the team on the sideline, I think it was 4 consecutive punts from Georgia State to close out the game and make sure that you guys did win. What did Power say on the sideline? Because it seemed like it was a pretty intense delivery from him.
can't say too much, but definitely just get a stop and get a 3-0.
I
Let's
like it.
get three
I
three
like
no 3-0 down.
And I think that is the highlight. Like you mentioned it earlier, you said, let's get a stop, let's get 3-0. Like that is the highlight of all this. Sure, there's a lot of stats you want to clean up. Sure, there's a lot of stuff you need to work on, but like 3-0 heading into the bye week, wins are tough to come by in college football. Like they really
Yeah.
are. At home, on the road, wins are tough to come by. So, what are the vibes like around the building defensively, whole team, everything? Just thinking like, yeah, we got stuff to work on, but also like as we're 3-0, you know?
Yeah. Um, like I said, going against great teams, getting great wins. I mean, it's definitely excitement around the building, but it's like the job's not finished. So like, we got a game over. Game was over an hour ago. Then we got to focus on the next game
Yep.
coming up. So I mean, it's good for a moment, but at the end of the day, like we still got to keep going. So
Yeah,
Oh,
you
I like that.
guys, you guys are on your bye week now. No game this week. You versus Notre Dame when you come back to Chapel Hill, which is going to be a really fun environment in Keenan Stadium. But the bye week, sometimes you get 24, 48 hours where you don't have to be in Chapel Hill. Do you have any bye week plans?
uh, probably just take care of the body. Really, that's about it.
Smart
Just
man.
chill.
Smart man. Another thing you may have some time to do during bye week. I saw you have a YouTube channel now with NIL and everything. Can you talk to us a little about the YouTube channel, what you got going on there? Tell the people you
No,
got listeners.
okay. So got kind of bored. Talked to my fam. I was like, I should start a YouTube channel. So YouTube channel is up, big country. So I mean, hey, let's shoot some more videos. I need to shoot some more videos around campus anyway. I got a video that's gonna probably come out 2 days from now. I was at the Purple Bowl cut, so
I like it. And one of the things I've seen too is ice cream with Keeshawn. What's your favorite flavor?
I like I'm kind of
Oh,
this is the bad part. Like I'm lactose, so I
oh.
still eat ice cream.
Just power through.
Are you are you eating keto ice cream or anything? You're just saying it's worth it. It's just worth it.
That is what it is.
I
And
like that. I
the
like that.
the ice cream with Keyshawn, I thought was a cool concept where you interview a guest. Is there a dream guest for you in your mind where it's like I would love to pick this person's mind and be able to interview somebody?
Um, Matt Brown. I think that would be funny.
Well,
Yeah.
what's stopping it? We
But
got it.
seriously, yeah, I need to go reach out to him. Tell him I need you on my YouTube video.
That'd be a fun one to check out. That'd be a fun
Yeah,
one. Well, Keeshawn, man, we appreciate you jumping on. We always close this by plugging healsforlife.org, and I'm going to do that. So everyone listening, please go become a member or go check out healsforlife.org. Like, look at what's going on there. Helps us continue to do things like this. I'll also, though, Keeshawn, leave some space for you to plug your YouTube channel. We need an ad here, something that's going to get people to go subscribe and listen so we can blow that thing up. So we want you to wrap it up this week, plugging your NIL stuff.
okay. Well, it's your boy Keeshawn. Appreciate y'all for having me on the show. I don't know if like my name will be. My name is Keeshawn, Keeshawn on Instagram, Twitter, everything. And my YouTube is Big Country. And also I have a website, www.bigcountry6.com.
Let's do it. And also they got custom jerseys now. So go get your Keeshawn jersey. It's
Yeah.
the link I know is on like goheels.com. It's also going to be on like UNC football has it posted on Instagram. So y'all go check that out. Get the jersey, healsforlife.org, and follow Keeshawn on everything. Appreciate it.
Sure.